Welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. We are a proud member of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is Kevin.
Okay, and this is our episode for August 28th, 2019. Got a little surprise for you guys.
Patscast. You're listening to the Patscast. Patscast. You're listening to the Patscast.
So, new season. I thought maybe we would have a little fun with the music, change it up a little bit. Thanks to my wife for dubbing over Experience Regina with a little bit of fun. So, first question, how awesome was that?
That was pretty good.
It was all right.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So, second question, how excited are you guys for this season?
I am. Yeah, I'm getting...
Do you know, it's been a while. It's been a while. Like, we were a little bit spoiled with the last couple of seasons without a long off season, but this is a long summer. It was long. I mean, we don't want summer. I don't want to wish away summer, but it was a long time without hockey, and we had a nice little taste with that rookie camp in the spring. Oh God, it's been a while since we saw some hockey. So getting back in the rink and seeing some scrimmages, and frankly, these guys they weren't just scrimmaging. There was not the blue and white was okay, but the Sunday night that one was exceptionally rough. I was surprised at, but I guess what I'm getting at is it was nice to be back at the rink. I didn't realize how much I missed it. What about you guys?
Well, I didn't see much. I was gone, so I guess I'll hit up these exhibition games and start getting my fix. Kevin?
It was really nice to be back. It felt like Christmas. I love hockey. Training camp is my baby. I've been going for years, so I missed it a lot. It was exciting.
It was actually. I was the game, like the Sunday night and even the blue and white, these guys, like even the veterans were putting it out there, and there were some big hits and rough stuff after the whistles and some trash talking even I was seeing. It was actually pretty interesting to see that.
Dubinsky had it out for each other for the whole camp, I think.
Dubinsky and who, sorry?
Sure, Kyle Walker. They had it out for each other. It was awesome.
Yeah, totally.
That whole time.
Yeah, and Nyhoff was turning it up. Like it's like these guys can't turn it off, right? They play a certain way, and you're going to get that even in training camps. So it was fun. It was really great to be back. So I guess essentially this is our kicking off the second season, full season of us. Tuning in for the first time this year, we'll let you know what we are and I guess what we aren't. So who we are, we started this during the Memorial Cup. We've been season tickets for a few years. Kevin, by far, much longer than us. What are you at now? 30-some?
I think this is my 39th year. Something around there.
Yeah, so you got to be one of the longest tenures there. So Chris and I, both from Regina, grew up liking the Pats and got back into them. We got some season tickets and recognized the void of a podcast. Took that opportunity, and yeah, we've been having fun with it. We're not going to admit to be expert broadcasters or have a lot of extra insight. Really, we started off as guys within the stands, and that's kind of the perspective we're bringing. Chris this year, though, has you're writing for dubnetwork.ca, which is awesome. He's got a little bit more access now in a press pass. So hopefully this year we'll bring you a little more in depth and insight, and so that's great. Just growing this as we can. Just a hobby for us, so it's not nothing to make money or anything, and we're having fun with it, and hope to keep it going as long as we can.
Yeah, it's always fun to come on every week and talk hockey. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
You watch the games a little more intently, like instead of just sitting there having a few beers on a Friday night and watching the game.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, making mental notes and kind of just looking into the team a little more in depth.
Yeah, so we sit and drink beers and talk at home and talk about the Pats. And this year we hope to expand a little bit. I know not everyone's sitting around listening to the Pats and us talk about them for 45 minutes to an hour every week. So we hope to do a little bit of clips and segments and get that out on Instagram and Twitter and just different ways to consume our content in bite-sized pieces, because not everyone's a nerd like us, I guess, when it comes to junior hockey. All right, well, let's roll right into what we're here to talk about, which is camp wrapped up on Monday with the blue and white. Kevin, you were at the rookie camp and veteran camp. It was a little different this year. They kind of intermingled a little bit more. They didn't start earlier in the week with rookies and then bring in veterans. They all started the same day and went that way. Anyway, yeah, why don't you just give us a bit of insight, maybe who stood out to you, who maybe didn't shine as much as you were hoping?
Well, out of the rookies, Sloan Stanek by far was, in my opinion, the best forward.
Yep.
Colby Watton, Easton Armstrong, they were up there. Bryce Howard, the invite from Texas, he was pretty good.
Yep.
Logan Hauer, one of the list players from last year, he was all over hitting everybody in sight.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to keep him or not, but the 15-year-old Zane Rowan, their draft pick out of Torrance, California, he looks pretty good as a centerman. Not very big, but he looked pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
The defense, that's another story. Parker Berg, Dylan Weigel, Jacob DeWitt, Marcus Taylor, Leighton Feist.
Yeah.
They all looked really good. Some better than others, but they all looked good. They all fit. They didn't look out of place at all.
It's a bit more encouraging than last year, hey? Where we're kind of sitting around going, okay, yeah, I guess we got a few guys. But, yeah, that's what I felt too, was especially when it came to the blue and white, some of those guys really did not look out of place for how young they were.
And
definitely.
Out of those guys, most of them are signed now, which is a nice.
Yeah, sure. Jake Johnson, I was going to say, he's probably the one that could play this year for sure, in my opinion.
Okay.
He's big, he fits, he can skate. I was glad that Sam Huck made it.
Yeah, totally. Hey, yeah, that was nice to see him. He had a soccer tournament he was playing in.
Yeah, he was in Nationals, I think it was.
Yeah, and made it back for the blue and white. And speaking of Huck, man, he is just on the puck wherever he is. It just seems the puck finds his stick, and we were both really impressed. Chris saw him in the blue and white and his back checking ability, and if he puts on some size and we can keep it, wow, he's got some potential, I think.
Yeah, he's the one that stood up for me in the blue and white game. Like, I only saw second and third period. That's all I seen of the whole training camp. But yeah, he find the open spot, puck finds him. Like you said, the back checking was impressive. You know, with skilled forwards, back checking is sometimes not their forte. They kind of, sometimes they like to coast around. But
Yeah.
he had a really good showing, I thought, in that game.
Yeah, super impressed.
I agree.
Another guy that stood out a little bit was Alex Bump. Another guy that just sitting down and watching and not really knowing who to look at. I noticed him stand out. He seemed to be in the plays a lot and getting a little messy and dirty. He was the guy at the end of the blue and white that Johnson was fighting, I think. Yeah, but yeah, I think we'll echo Stanek. Those 2 goals he had in the scrimmage that I saw were very nice. Yeah, really impressed with that.
And that's a nice signing too. Like, we got him signed now, and that was a nice trade. You trade Robbie Holmes for half the season, and you get a player like him.
Yeah. Someone, and we're not here to rag on guys, but one guy I really wanted to see step up was Jake Snajal, and I just didn't see it this weekend. I was watching the one scrim where he was playing, and he had his opportunities to make an impression. There was one; it was a 2-on-1, and he just sort of had the puck on the 2-on-1, and he just sort of shot it into the goalie. He wasn't really didn't look for the pass or wasn't there, and the shot wasn't terribly impressive. again, I mean, small size, but I was really hoping for something from him to really impress us. And I just didn't notice it. And they even gave him the chance, and he was in the blue and white as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're giving him opportunities, and
Yeah, he'll get his opportunities. He's the 4th round pick from last year, so.
And he's got some size, so that helps.
what about veterans? Anyone? One that stood out was literally stood out was Steven Zonneveld. Guy looks like he grew. I look back and they only list him as an inch taller, but he's still at 6'4". Last year they had him listed at 6'3", but he looks even bigger than that. He didn't look as big last year, but
He looked like he bulked up quite a bit.
yeah. Kind of pulled a Dubinsky.
He grew too, for sure.
Yeah, and he was just everywhere. He was playing with a lot of fire in these scrimmages, I noticed. Cole,
That's good. He had full season now under his belt, and you can see the progression that he brought.
Right, and when we look back at last year, that's one of the positives, is he was a guy that probably on most teams or better teams may not have got as much ice time, and he got a lot of quality ice time last year. And if he carries that confidence and that fire that he had in this training camp, I think he'll be a fun player to watch again.
I don't think he lacks in confidence, that's for sure. You can see that in his game.
Yeah. Kyle Walker, again, I'm super pumped to have him on the team. He's going to be fun to watch. Just his size and his demeanor, the kind of the energy he brings to the ice, and just I think he's one of those guys that the other team is always going to be on the lookout for. He's kind of like what I wanted from Cale Fleury, to be that. And Cale did it sometimes, and when he did, he excelled. And it seems like it's more natural to Walker.
Yeah, the physical shutdown defenseman.
Yeah, that
you don't
intimidating guy.
Yeah, intimidate. You don't want to skate down his side because you're going to take a hit.
Yeah.
Or, it's not going to be pretty. Like, he's going to rough you up.
Yeah.
Totally agree 100%.
Yeah. So we put out the same question to Twitter. We had a few responses here. Scott, he was excited for Stanek and Howard, Jake Johnson as well. And Colby, we're going to go with Vuk, I think.
Sure.
Right? We're saying it's a German name. So kind of like Volkswagen. So we're going to go with Vuk and agree. I think he impressed most of us. Colby, that is. Matt Rowe came back with Stanek as well. Tyson Feist in the blue and white felt he was the best veteran out there. And yeah, something we haven't talked about is the goaltenders. He recognized Keeper, and I did too. I quite liked Keeper. So he's not someone we'll probably see this year, of course, but looks like something coming up. Not a bad goaltender to have on our team.
Yeah, it's nice to have a young goalie. We're a little lacking in the goalie department, signed guys-wise. We got Paddock and McNabb as 19s, Pezenti's an 18, and then Keeper's a 15. So there's a 2-year gap there of no goalies. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little, might have to add from externally. Jackson Dilla, I've heard good reviews the last couple of training camps. He would have been a good guy to slot in.
Yeah.
That intermediate or in between those two age groups there, but he didn't come this year, and with him being American, it's probably unlikely he's coming now.
So we're going to get into signings, but first, before we do that, as a member of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network, we are supported by Connexus. Connexus Credit Union is all about their members. Improving their financial well-being drives everything they do. Chris, are you with a credit union, or are you with a big bank? I'm with a credit union. All these people with big banks, I don't get it. When I watch the news and I see, this bank posted a $7 trillion profit, I think, what? Why would I want to be part of that? So anyways, that's just not something that Connexus says. It's something they promise that's delivered by over 900 employees across Saskatchewan. Their employees are members too, and they've been there, so they're committed to making your money work for you. The banking industry needs to change, and Connexus is changing it for everyone because Connexus cares. So visit connexus.ca to learn more. Okay, let's get on to the signings. So out of this training camp, we had 5 signings. So everyone's pretty happy, I think, about the first one with Sloan Stanek. Impressed everyone. So I think we're all in agreement to see that. And so the other signing, we didn't talk about it, but he was impressive. Paul House out of Saskatoon. He was just a list player, right?
Yeah, I just listed him in this spring.
Yeah.
I highlighted his name on my article on the training camp kind of preview. Yeah, he's had a couple really good seasons in Bantam and then in Midget as well. So it's a nice list pickup, and he could turn into something. You got to have those guys, diamonds in the rough. Like he's 17 already, so.
And looking at his stats, it's surprised no one else picked him up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he might have been listed by somebody else, and maybe he got dropped. But the Pats picked him up this year, and he'll be pushing for a roster spot this year, definitely. I think.
Yeah. Other signings: Weagle, draft pick out of last year, out of Saskatoon, and Parker Berg. He really impressed me in the camp. I was really happy with his play. And then finally DeWitt. I think they see something with him. He's got a lot of size already, and I was, from what I saw, I'm happy with all these signings, and yeah, that's great movement for the team. So with all these signings, most of these guys won't be playing this year, but we need to start looking at our lineup. It's not quite as cut and dry as it was last year. We think there's probably a few players on the bubble here that last year for sure would have been on the team, but again, we're getting a little bit more depth after this rebuild and some good drafts over the last couple of years. So, Chris, you've got that all lined up, why don't you?
Well, yeah, you look at our forward depth group here. You got 3 20s up front. You got 4 19-year-olds, and you got 4 more 18-year-olds. So that's 11 right there. And then you look at Cole Dominski. Well, he's basically guaranteed a spot. So there's 12 forwards right there.
Yeah.
And then you got 3 other 17-year-olds, Sanders, Englot, and Paulus. So
Englot was missing from training camp.
Yeah. So you're not guaranteeing any of these spots. Like Delorme, like the guy that we just picked up, like he didn't have the greatest stats last year, so he's a bubble player, I think, as a 19-year-old.
Yeah. Like
there's no point in having a 19-year-old that isn't going to produce. You'd rather have a 17-year-old get some minutes, even a 16-year-old Stanek.
Yeah.
Get a year like Dubinsky had last year, right? Get him ice time, get him a few goals, get him some experience. So, like him, Englot, we don't know what he is. We haven't seen him yet in person.
Yeah.
Blake Allen, is he gonna produce enough to stay get enough minutes, right?
I think Allen's a bit of a bubble player right now. The same rationale you had for
Delorme.
Yep. Yeah. Kevin, any insight on the Fords this year? What are you thinking?
I'm not disagreeing with anything you just said there.
That's why we like you, Kevin.
Yeah, I heard on Delorme, I can't remember where he was last year. Was it? He had a really good training camp, really showed well, but he just didn't produce in the regular season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like
Portland.
Okay, there you go. And so is he gonna stick around, or is he gonna be the guy we picked up last year at the draft, and then he didn't even play a regular season game with us? Justin Gurney,
yeah.
He played one.
Oh, he played
one.
one.
Played one.
Okay.
Did he? Okay.
And then then Vancouver picked him up, and they thought highly of him.
Or Everett. Was it
Everett did?
Everett.
Everett?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? So there's some tough decisions to make. So that's the forwards. What about defense?
Well, defense, you got Walker is the old guy at 19.
Yeah.
You got Feist, Setoff, Zonneveld, Evans. And then you got Mitchell and McGinley. So there's 7 D-men.
Decent. Yeah.
And then with those signings, you got Johnson, Taylor, Weagle, and Berg
Yeah.
as the 16-year-olds that'll
Yeah.
be pushing for a spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I like our depth, the young depth there. And then we got Feist and DeWitt signed as 15-year-olds. So I think our D core is going to be looking good in a couple years.
Yep.
I mean, it's not bad now. Like, you like Walker, Setoff, Evans, Feist. Like Zonneveld, yeah, he's going to be the third pairing, but
Yeah.
I mean, it
But-
looks decent.
I mean, yeah, we're seeing these guys, and these are all guys that played a lot of time last year,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, they got a lot of minutes last year.
yeah, that's exciting. That's awesome. And then goaltenders, we're looking at D. McNabb and Max Paddock. One of the thoughts going into this is, do they keep both?
No, there's no point in keeping
No.
both. They
No.
have to trade one.
Yeah. So
And
we'll
have
see.
two 19-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We'll see
Right.
when that goes down and who
I
it is.
don't know what they're gonna do. Like, I don't know if Pezenti's good enough. Like, he can back up, but I don't know. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure with the goaltender situation behind Pezenti either. Him and Down, I'm not too sure about. That's the only kind of issue I have with our team right now. But
I guess if it's Paddock, you hope McNabb stays healthy, right? Maybe hang on to Paddock as long as you can, close to
yeah,
trade deadline.
he's gonna give you the most value.
I think so. Just with his Memorial Cup experience, I think speaks highly, right? And if it's someone like Kelowna looking for a goaltender,
Well, they need one, so
yeah. So, otherwise, now the lineup's done. What are you thinking for the year? What's your predictions here? Wins, losses.
Well, 19 last year.
Yeah,
I
so it
think-
can't get too much worse.
No, I think we'll improve in that. I don't know. You think we can hit 30? this year?
That's what I was thinking exactly. 30.
Kevin,
I was thinking 30 to 35.
30
Yeah.
to 35. Okay, well there's.
Yep.
That's not bad.
Optimist.
I mean,
Optimist.
the division isn't going to be great this year.
Mm-hmm.
You think
Yeah.
about it. Moose Jaw's down. PA will be down. Saskatoon's going to be good.
Yeah, I think
Obviously.
Saskatoon's gonna be the.
Top. They're going to be
Top.
top 2 in the conference, I think.
We don't get to beat up on Swift as much this year,
No.
even though I think we were 500 against them last year.
Yeah. And then Brandon, I don't know. I thought Brandon was going to be better last year, but they weren't. So I don't know what to think about Brandon this year.
Speaking of Brandon, did you hear Matheos had testicular cancer?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's sad news. I heard it. He's
Just-
recovering, but yeah, I just heard that. It was kind of sad to hear, but for anyone that hasn't heard, yeah, I think things are going well. Yeah, not to be a downer, but just reminded me of that.
I know. Guy's 20 years old, and like it seems like every day you hear somebody or somebody who knows somebody that has cancer now. It's unreal.
So all the gentlemen listening to this, check your nuts. That's our PSA for public service announcements for this episode. Yeah, no, I'm thinking 30. So maybe just if they can get to 30, 34 and be a
Potential playoff team.
yeah. I don't know if
think-
that's good enough to get
I
a
think the
wild card.
Central's. Yeah, I think the Central's going to be strong again this year.
Right.
They're going to be pretty even.
Yeah.
Like they were last year.
Yeah.
Oh, then there's Winnipeg. I totally forgot about Winnipeg in our division now. They should be
They'll be
better.
better for sure. Well, Savoy can play.
Who knows?
Is that not for sure? yet?
I don't know what his deal
Uh-huh.
is or what their deal is with him.
I thought it was like 50 games.
I don't know. I think that's just rumor.
Oh. We'll see. Yeah, I guess, hey? Okay, well, that's predictions. Another new thing this year is the new jersey. We always like our jersey talk here, too. If you were at the Blue and White, you got maybe a bit of a chance to see. They had one for the auction, or not auction, jersey draw, which, of course, I didn't fucking win again. I would be sick if I tallied up how much I put into those damn jersey draws. I could have bought some very nice jersey by now, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, initial impressions that I've heard from other people, these new, there's a Quick Light they're called, not terribly impressive. But I don't know, the whole CHL is going to them.
Yeah, and AHL's had them for a whole year.
Yeah.
Just lighter. I don't think the crest is quite as thick and a little more streamlined.
Okay.
No big changes to ours except the collar. They all got the fancy looking collar.
Kind of
But I've seen some other teams, they've changed it up a bit.
And are we the only ones, or is it all of them that have that? They have like string.
I think they all have it now.
Okay.
Cape Breton, they were the Screaming Eagles.
Yeah.
They changed it up just to the Eagles.
Okay.
It's a whole redesign there. Erie, they kind of went back to an old logo.
I saw Sarnia released one today.
Sarnia,
too.
yeah. They got rid of their college-looking jersey with Sarnia across it and went with their logo on both jerseys.
See, I like the college look. I like the diagonal. I don't like. They went to like a cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't dig the cartoons.
Yeah, they had that on their other jersey. They just had the black
Okay.
Sarnia, and then they had the white logo.
Yeah. I'm more traditional, I guess. Wrapping up here. One of the major missing pieces that we noticed and want to talk about at training camp was our imports. We had Setoff he's still part of the team, but any insight? I'm hearing rumors that it was
Visa issues.
Visa.
So I haven't heard anything else. Yeah,
I follow him
I
on
heard paperwork.
What's that?
I heard paperwork issues, visa
Okay.
issues.
Okay. I do follow him on Instagram, and he's been posting his training videos and stuff. So he's skating and he's fine. I know. In the spring, I saw him. He had a cast on his arm, so whatever that was is obviously not a problem anymore. He's fine. He's ready to go. Just I guess getting over here is the next step, and then our touted import draft pick Gushin, still not signed. Kind of disappointing.
Well, not that he wasn't signed. He didn't even show up to camp, which was unfortunate.
I there's been crickets.
With the pick that we had, do you think the import draft isn't really a draft? It's more like who's the best player you think you can get to come here, right? So obviously there's some talk beforehand.
There has to be.
Guaranteed there is, especially at the top end of the draft.
Yeah.
At the bottom end of the draft, you're just kind of maybe picking some guy.
Yeah.
But
Wait for the best.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, hopefully a guy comes that you've
Exactly.
heard that he might be good.
We would have thought there would have been conversation with this guy.
Yeah, and you think that at least he's going to show up to camp and give us a shot, right?
Yeah.
With him not showing up, it's pretty disappointing. But I've read that they're trying everything they can to woo him to come. But I mean, that's tough. And Paddock was batting 1,000. He signed every import pick he's made. So, what are your thoughts, Kevin?
I was disappointed he wasn't here, but it is what it is. Can't do anything about it. Hopefully they can get him to come because he's going to be in North America, from what we understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Maybe
played here last year, right? So
Yeah, he played in Muskegon.
I don't know
Hopefully,
if he's still interested in staying there, like, or he
South
wants.
he's going to be there. So.
Okay, and maybe he wants to go college route. Who knows, right? That seems to be more and more of an option for Europeans. They come over and play the USHL and then go to school. I mean, at least we're not hooped like Moose Jaw. They are so screwed. Like, I don't know. You pick a Swedish goaltender. First of all, Swedes don't come here to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you pick a Swedish goaltender that's really good, and he's like, yeah, no, not a chance. And their other goalies, just had hip surgery, so he's out.
Oh yeah.
He's out for a while. They literally
Yeah.
have nobody in goal, so at least we're not Moose Jaw.
You hear your Remco guy. He signed pro in Russia.
Oh yeah, after they
Like-
traded, he's the big pickup for the Wu trade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least we're not Moose Jaw.
Yeah.
That counts for a lot of things, not just not just junior hockey.
Who said that Swedes don't come over?
Not
Who
that they.
said that?
I said that. Not that they don't come over, but it's
Philippines, man.
yeah, we had
So-
him. But I mean, you look at the numbers, like it's the Russians, the Czechs, the Finns, but not many Swedes
Emil
come over.
Stigard came here. Ricard
Bill
Blitstrand came here.
Yeah.
So
You got the historian here.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
gonna know.
He's gonna call me out on my errors, right?
Yeah.
But I think you look at the numbers overall,
yeah.
Swedes don't come over too often.
yeah, they all the ones that were drafted have come here. So
Yeah, to Regina, yeah, for sure.
Russians are the ones that are the question marks usually. So
Yeah, well, every Euro draft is questionable, so
But this guy's already here. It's not
I know
like he's
that's why I was even more pumped about it because he's already in North America. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to convince him to come to North America.
yeah.
for sure.
And one topic we haven't got to talk about since we haven't done an episode since it was announced was the outdoor game. I think we all predicted. I wouldn't say. Well, I expected it. You know,
Yeah, not a surprise.
yeah, not a surprise. Awesome to hear. One of the things that was a surprise was the cost of this. I was sitting there thinking, okay, season tickets holders, you're not going to get it, and tickets are going to be. I don't know. I'm just so pleasantly surprised at an $18.50 price point for this game is just, and I think the argument is, or the rationale is, when they tried to do this last time, they were footing the bill for everything and bringing in the ice and all the other stuff, and here they're just taking on to the NHL, and I think that's why they
Yeah,
can
they're
bring the
literally
price down.
getting it for free,
Yeah,
basically, right? So
so to be able to do, I mean, it's less than a normal game almost.
yeah, I mean, and it was $25 in Calgary in 2011, so it
Yeah.
went down in price. Like that's I was thinking about 25. I was thinking maybe $30, but $18.50 taxes, fees. In.
So huge props to the Pats for doing that. 'Cause, I mean, their track record isn't awesome for value. You know, they seem to be trying to nickel and dime things everywhere between that parking thing. And
that's a thing again this year.
is it?
Yeah.
And the
Did you see the
the
email?
Pats. What was the lounge or whatever?
Oh,
you
yeah.
call it?
Forgot about that.
The tent. Well, yeah. They always seem to be
It-
trying to make some money. So I got to give them credit on that. That was really pretty awesome. So, are you
Yeah.
going to the NHL game, Kevin?
No,
No, me either.
Yeah, I'm not either.
No, but that's
No,
okay.
You were thinking of maybe volunteering.
Yeah, they're still looking volunteers, and I'm not willing to pay to go to it. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll put my name into volunteer and
See part of the
see
game.
what I can do. Yeah. But no, super happy with that.
Yeah, hopefully
announcement this year.
there's a good turnout. Tickets go on sale, I think tomorrow, possibly to the public. $18.50. You can't really go wrong. It's October. It's not January or February. Like the weather, at the coldest, it's not going to be that cold.
Nope, it'll be awesome.
definitely.
One thing I got to give a shout out to, I don't know if it was public knowledge yet at that time, but OHL fanboys, they're no more, unfortunately.
Yeah,
They were the go-to for my OHL weekly news. Like Steve and Brian would just shoot the shit for the first 20 minutes, and you get up 20 minutes every week. You keep in the loop of the OHL.
yeah.
They've shut it down. They've run their course, and they're moving on to bigger and better things or whatever they want to do. But it's a little disappointing to hear that. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
it sounded like they had run their course, and
The news and notes and weekly recap, and then they had the interview second
Mhm.
half.
yeah, and it was good. They had a good,
Yeah, they had
rapport.
good- yeah, exactly. They really
They
they
had a
really
good
went
thing.
back and forth.
yeah,
But I don't know. You might be hearing from Steve here soon from us.
Yeah.
He might be coming out here.
Yeah.
He might be making another appearance on our show again.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, well, let's wrap it up. Excited to be back. Excited for the second season. We got a few extra things in the works for this year. A little more maybe interactive, a little more video, bite-sized type stuff for you guys. And yeah, I just hope to keep growing and interacting with you guys. So give us a follow if you're not at WHL Patscast on both Instagram and Twitter. I think we have a Facebook page that's mostly to interact with
Rod Peterson Show.
the Rod Peterson Show.
There is a good Facebook group. It's Regina Pat's Hot Takes. Started
I
by
think
Jared Dumba. So
Jared,
there's
Jared's running that.
lots of good Pat's chat in there. Where I'm in there often. Remember, just subscribe, then you get it every week.
Yeah.
And rate us if you think we're okay. If not, oh well.
Exactly. Oh, well. But no, give us feedback too. We like hearing
Like the
through
feedback.
Twitter. That's awesome when you guys respond. It's a lot of fun interacting with people, and yeah, you might even see us at the game doing some stuff with our cameras and whatnot. And if you see us, just come over and say hey. It'd be fun to kind of get those in the moment discussions and interactions with people. Kevin, do you have anything you want to plug?
No, not really.
No? You still running the historian?
Yeah, follow Kevin at the Blue Liner.
Yeah, Kevin
That's
tweets some pretty interesting. I know you were tweeting out some old training camp rosters. Those are always kind of neat to look back at and stuff
For
like
sure.
that. So yeah, follow Kevin at the Blue Liner on Twitter. Okay, well, we'll sign off for the week. Once the season gets going, we do our weekly show, but preseason maybe not quite as frequent. So we'll see you guys at the rink, and go Ducks.
Yeah, opening day, Saturday.
That's our other passion is Oregon Ducks, and big game this weekend. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Kevin.
Good night.